And there we are. Hello everybody, welcome back. It is another Saturday night. It is time for episode 6 of our series here on Twitch, Heroes of Tethra. Welcome back everybody. Intrepid Heroes, join me, all four of you. Say hello, Intrepid Heroes.
Hello, Intrepid Heroes.
I'm so intrepidous.
I will not say hello, Intrepid Heroes. Oh, crap.
Oh, goodness. Alright, so we are back once again.
We have attitude problems.
Yeah, but that's fine.
After last week, I think it's justified.
The last session. Let's pray to all of the 12 that make up the gods and goddesses of Tethra that the rolls are better for everybody tonight, because April Fools taught us a lesson, let me tell you. So, alright. I don't have any kind of announcements or anything, so we're just going to go ahead and jump right back on in with a little bit of a recap. So let me go ahead and get this going. Okay. So welcome back everybody. Last time we gathered here for Heroes of Tethra, our adventuring party ended up starting out dealing with some hunters that had stumbled upon them in the cave that they had used to find shelter against the inclement weather that was barreling down atop them. Snow in a mountainous region can be very significant if you're not careful, so they decided to take shelter in what appeared to be, for the most part, an abandoned cave. These hunters set upon them, and a battle quickly ensued, with our heroes getting the jump on top of this hunting party. After seeing that victory was impossible for them, and having nearly all of his allies drop, their leader waved the white flag. He yielded in the combat, and the party decided to spare him and the people that they could spare, with one of the hunting party's members falling due to grievous wounds. Understanding that it's dangerous work, the rest of the hunting party were happy to keep their lives, and revealed some information that they had been hired out by the very man that our party had been seeking, the one known as Warden Corin Asterfell. After clearing up a little bit, finding that the hunting party was really thinking they were doing a good thing and didn't know the full depths of what was going on in Asterfell's designs, they let them go and sent them off to their previous destination, the town of Dialt. Following their new goblin friend, Nettlegeme, to the north, they came upon, finally, the building that Nettlegeme had escaped from, where untold horrors await inside, things that have happened to this goblin in his past. Upon arriving, 2 guards flanked both sides of a large steel door to gain entry into this building, and after not being as convincing as they had hoped, a short battle ensued, which resulted in one guard triggering an alarm system and losing his mind before exploding into a burst of viscera as he fell in battle. Serrated spikes launching out of his body, as we had seen previously with a couple other people involved in something similar. And it was at that moment that we concluded the session. So, heroes, there's an alarm currently going off. Repeat it a couple times. You've heard every couple seconds. Something akin to intruder warning. Facility breached. Facility entering lockdown. This message is on repeat. You have a dead and exploded man at your feet, and an unconscious one knocked out in front of the main gate. Let's change the music. And what would you like to do? Floor is yours.
What is that noise? Just keeps repeating human language over and over again. Is this normal?
No, none of this has been normal.
It is quite annoying.
Yeah.
Does this mean there are more of these guards on the way?
Unfortunately,
Is
it's
this
very
like a-
likely.
So this is like a call.
Yes.
Like an animal call. Okay.
To put it more in terms you can understand, it's when a wolf cries out for help to their pack.
Do you think that if I'm the only one they see when they come, they'll think it was just me who attacked them? I know humans do not care to investigate animals any further.
Warning.
Well, that's
Facility
possible.
entering lockdown. Warning. Intruder detected. Facility entering. Static seems to come over the comms that you hear in the area, and the siren sounds stop. Number 7? Number 7, what are you doing out there? From the place where the guard had gone and pushed several buttons, you hear a voice coming through, garbled, little bit of static and noise behind it in general. It's not super clear.
And we can clearly tell that it came from the device specifically that the guard was fidgeting with.
Oh yes, you're all close enough, it's very obvious.
Alright. Kaiser's going to walk up to over here beside Cobalt.
I'm going to get out of the way. I can't reach anything.
Kaiser will step forward front and center then, and he'll just sort of look around. There's been an accident out here. The guards have been attacked.
What? The guards have been... Hold on. Number 10, is that you? Where's number 7?
Right now laying out on the ground bleeding, if not already dead.
This was always a possibility. Alright. Bring him inside. Bring him to the med bay. We'll look over him.
And hearing that, Kaiser will just slowly step away and just look at the rest of the party with a shrug like, hope that worked something in their favor.
Going for the blunt approach. I suppose that'll do.
So
Alright.
we're just going to walk in the front door?
That's the plan so far, so yeah. Dream, if you would be so kind, do you think you could carry your dead friend here? And I will grab the other body.
Wait, hang on.
I
Did
am
the guy in front of us
flattered.
explode? Like, do we have to like collect pieces?
Might be a good idea, yeah.
Now, I am flattered that you think so highly of my physical capabilities, but this is not really my realm of
Oh, I mean,
expertise.
just grab some quivered bits and put it in something.
Oh, I guess
I'm just gonna pick up an arm.
I guess I don't need all of it, do I? Okay. Did he have a cloak or anything that I can kind of make a bundle out of?
No cloak, but there was an undershirt. It's kind of torn in the front now, as there's a gaping wound in his chest from where he kind of exploded outward.
Uh-huh. I can try to make a makeshift little sack out of it.
Sure, you could certainly give that a go.
Okay, what would you like me to roll for this?
I'm not actually going to make you roll on this one.
Okay.
This is one of those things where it's like, this is narrative. I'm letting you have whatever effect you want on this one.
And this entire time, I'm just picking up pieces and chunks and keeping them as far away from me as possible before I drop them into the sack and...
I'll carry like any large pieces that don't fit in a sack. Just straight up, just carry pieces.
I might need to borrow your soap when we're done with this.
Oh, I think we all are gonna need soap when we're done with this.
And while that conversation's going, the next thing Kaiser wants to do is he wants to go over to this body and want to check and see if it's even alive.
Sure.
And meanwhile, he's muttering under his breath, "Don't you dare explode on me."
Go ahead and give me a medicine check.
"14.
Okay. With a 14, you can tell that he is alive, he is unconscious, and currently the same kind of bubbling and kind of expanding that the other guy was doing before he exploded is not happening to this body.
Well, that's a start at least. Knowing that he is alive, I'm going to walk back over to the others, and with a sort of low voice, just to be safe. So, what if we're going to just try and walk into the facility under this guise that we are? We can't take the other guy in. If he wakes up, he can out us instantly.
So, what do you propose we do? Oh. No, I think that's enough bits.
I don't really know what to do with this one because we can't just leave him out here, and if we take him in and they get him awake, like I said, he can out us instantly. It's...
You think that they're not going to question it, us walking in to begin with?
odds are they are.
Oh, 100%, but at least this way we have a chance at doing something.
I mean, Cobalt's right. They're going to realize that we're not number 10.
The moment we enter there, any disguise that we could have had is going to be forfeit.
Well, I'm certainly open to suggestions.
There's a bush over there. We can try and tie him up in that bush.
That is true. We could just simply restrain him. Either way, the moment that we go in there, it is simply fighting our way through until the den is ours.
I don't think we want to keep it as a den, though. This is not somewhere I would want to nest.
We have to clear it, whether we keep it or not. That's why we're here, correct?
To get any that are being tortured out, yes. And
This
also
has all of the makings of a human den, so we simply clear out this human den.
Not just that, but like we don't want to go in and start just swinging willy-nilly either. How many of the poor souls in here are just working under the assumption that they're just doing regular work like the Merc group we run across? How many of them are actually in the know?
Then hopefully the ones that aren't part of this will know to keep their noses down and get out of our way. Either way, as Dream wipes his paws off in the grass, I'm getting bored. I'm going to move him over to, I'm going to move that gentleman over to the bush and then knock on the door. Less talking, more doing, as it were.
I agree.
I quite agree with Dream.
I will walk over and help Dream with taking the body over to the bush.
Okay. Not a problem.
I'll
Which bush you
pull
going
out
to?
the rope.
I guess
I was going to say
this
this
one
one.
over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since it's bigger, we could probably hide him better.
Yep. I'll just drag him over there and drop him in there, considered hidden. At least as far as you can tell. Both of you working together, either both of you can, or one of you can give the other advantage. Make a survival check for me to hide the body. So you get to decide if both of you want to roll, or if you want to give someone advantage.
How's your survival, Dream?
I can make do. Better than most. Better than a lot, in fact. Nothing formal, mind you.
You know what? I'll give Dream the advantage on this one.
Okay. Dream, go ahead and roll a survival check with advantage, please.
Huzzah! That's not bad.
I see 16.
A 16.
Nice. All right, you are pretty confident that with the shrubbery and everything that you can gather in the immediate area, just kind of finagling it, just kind of shade it, you feel confident that unless somebody was actively looking, they wouldn't spot it.
Now the question is, do we have anything to keep him restrained there, even if he wakes up?
I have rope. I was going to tie him up.
Also, something to put over his mouth wouldn't hurt to keep him silent, too.
I'll stick a bar of soap in his mouth.
Oh. Okay. So he's tied up. There's no restraint. There's like no resisting, rather. So it just takes you a little bit of time to get it. Not that bad. And the bar of soap has been used as a gag. It'll make him gag, that's for sure. But there it is.
He was mean. He needs to clean up his language.
Alright, so what's next?
I guess we go in with our body bag of guard.
I'll look back at Dream. You said you wanted to knock on the door. Would you like to do the honors?
Dream shrugs and proceeds to.
Just in case someone's at the door, I'll just be over here on the side.
Let's see. Dream, as you approach the door, I'd like to know what your passive perception is.
Passive perception.
Or, I'm sorry,
is-
passive investigation.
Passive investigation.
Yes.
10.
Okay. 10 is actually the threshold. As you go to reach forward to rap on the door, you notice on the door, over in the middle of it to the left side, there seems to be a small circular recess. In the middle of that recess appears to be a small flickering light.
That key that we got. Do you think that'll work in that?
Kaiser will walk over to where Dream was pointing out and look down at the pendant. Does the pendant look roughly that shaped?
Roughly.
Kaiser will take the pendant off then and I'll stick it in.
Okay. Pushing the pendant into the small indentation on the door, it clicks, pops back out, and then you see the door shoot up and open up for you. Just kind of almost like a sci-fi, psh, as it lifts itself up. And the door is now open. Let's get this set up for you guys now, with the door being open. The system is a little bit slow. And click. The area has been revealed.
Should probably go in before that closes.
Kaiser will put the pendant on and he'll take the first step forward cautiously and sort of get to the threshold of the door and sort of just peer inside.
Sure.
And give it a once over.
So as you go ahead and you step in, you can see through this entire corridor that you have. It's a long and empty hallway with several arcane lights floating near the ceiling. There are multiple doors that you see here on the eastern side. You see 2 doors in total, one closer and one further. and down around the end, it seems that there is a corner that you could go around, but you currently don't have vision to see around it.
I'll look back. Well, this front hallway is clear for now, at least. So it gives us a little bit of breathing room.
Alright, gonna go in. Stop about there.
What do I smell? Is there anything coming from in here?
So, noticeably, you smell nothing. And that's odd.
Oh.
There's the little bit of, dirt here and there, and like the general sense that there is or was like some food at some point in time somewhere in the building. But for the most part, it's relatively odorless.
I immediately become tense, ears alert forward, and becoming very light-footed, as if walking on eggshells.
Mm-hmm.
The doors, are they just a solid door, or are they have like a glass pane in them at halfway up or something?
So, the
Are there any
doors
markings on them?
themselves are, in fact, solid wooden doors, from what you can see. Just up and around, you can see that there are some tinted glass, kind of frosted glass, I should say, rather. So it's letting some light through, but vision is not really anything more than silhouettes.
Are there any markings on these doors?
Nothing that stands out for you, no. At least certainly not this distance for the furthest one. You can't make out anything from that angle anyway. But this closer door, no markings.
Where should we go?
Well, and for now, it looks like there might be more around the bend.
Do you want me to go down and peek around the corner?
Yeah, that would be a good idea, probably. Let us know what you see down there.
Okay. I'm
Just
gonna
exercise caution, my friend.
I'm gonna try to scurry down to the hall as quietly as possible.
Okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check then.
And while he's doing that, I'm going to follow sort of behind and sort of... Can't move my token.
Very nice.
And I'm going to sort of position right here at this corner before this door.
Okay. Were you keeping an eye out on something as you moved to that corner there, or?
Not particularly.
Okay. I had to let the dog out of the room, so I wasn't 100% focused on what you all were saying. But I see that's a stealth roll. What is that total for?
20.
20, okay. You were very confident in your stealth moving down, and what you end up seeing as you reach this corner here, you pass by the door, and on the door, because you were asking about markings earlier, there appears to be a generic picture of two silhouettes separated by a line. One of them seems to be more straight up and down, very boxy. The other one appears to have a triangle at the bottom. They resemble humanoids.
And
Kind
so
of.
the door at the bottom where I'm at now.
This one right over here. Oh, I need to change my tool. Let's click there. This one right there.
Okay.
And what you get for the rest of it... Just trying to click here, and click here, and click here, here, here. Okay. So you're able to see around the corner there, and what you are able to gather from this now is there's a large metal door, very much like the front door, with a similar circular impression in it, and also a plain wooden door.
So I'm gonna look back, and I'm gonna wave and sort of motion for everyone to come down this way because I don't want to yell. Anyone even watching me?
I was going to say, do we see him actually motioning? Or...
Oh yeah, he's in clear line of sight. There's plenty of light in this
Okay.
hallway, so yeah.
As I go to pass this door, before I pass it, Kaiser sort of ducks down and sort of
Sure. Give me a stealth
like
check.
steps down that way. Oh joy. This ought to be real fun. 10.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You're wearing chain that gives disadvantage, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. You make your way past and down to Cobalt.
Again, alert. Do I smell or hear anything from any of this as I pass by it? But right before I pass by it.
Since you're asking about smell and hear, go ahead and roll the perception check for me. With advantage. Because, yeah. Wolf senses.
19.
19. You do get the faint whiff of some kind of a food, some kind of cooked meat on the opposite side, as well as some tuber vegetables, perhaps, and the muffled conversation between at least two people.
Curiousness, I'm poking my head in.
Oh, you mean you went to the corner there?
Yeah, this little area here.
No,
Like,
I'm sorry, that's just a wall. I thought you meant the door.
which door? The one over on the other side?
Yeah.
Oh, well then I'll poke my head in there.
Okay, well the door's closed.
Well, do you have to operate it? Is there like a knob to it, or can you just like push it open?
There's a knob to it.
Oh, well, I don't have opposable thumbs. I'm going to actually, as everyone else is starting to, and before Dream goes past, I'm literally just going to get in front of the door and sit.
Okay.
Is everything okay?
I smell food.
This really isn't the time for that, is it?
It's always the time for food.
Um,
Do you want me to leave it?
uh, I'll open the knob.
Okay. Opening the knob to the door, you are able to see into the room. Let's go ahead and reveal what's going on in the room here.
Oh,
Opening up the door, you are immediately greeted by the room, which I'll describe first for you. There are several chairs and tables lined up in the middle of this room, with a couch against the northern wall, planters of red flowers flanking both sides. The carpet in here is blue, and in several spots you have stains and clumped bits of carpet fibers. On the table, it's very obvious you can see water rings pockmarking it and crumbs covering the table. Several doors as well that you see leading to other rooms, and at a quick glance, you just see the doors, because in front of you are 4 additional people. 2 people dressed in the same kind of armor and garb that you saw out front. One with a little bit lighter, and one even further in a long, thin, white coat. That one specifically being back here. You open the door, and they look up, and as they're looking up, the one in the coat goes, "Ah, good. Number 10, you finally come... Who the fuck are you?" The others jump up and don't know what to do immediately. And
I'm just gonna come in and I'm gonna jump up on the table and start looking for the meat.
There is some. It's right there on a plate in front of the guy down on the bottom side of the table. So it's
Okay,
on the corner.
that's okay. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start snapping it up.
How do I want to handle this? What? Who? Wolf? Did this? Looking out at the door. You're not. Get him! And they draw their weapons.
So you don't want this?
Are you just throwing the bag of the guy?
Well, I'm holding it up first. If they decide that they want to pursue it, then who knows?
Yeah, they're just they draw their weapons because I don't
As
know
they
how-
draw their weapons, I'm gonna like, swallow some food and just go, oh god, it's so good when it's cooked.
All right.
Oh,
Let's get initiative.
Meanwhile, Kaiser and Cobalt are just so blissfully unaware right now.
Uh-huh.
Cobalt's pointing out the door with the notch on it and the bathroom. I found the potty.
Yes, you did. Oh, goodness.
Oh God.
I have no regrets.
All right, so let's go ahead
I mean,
and...
That's fitting. The ones who have the higher initiative are the ones that are in the
room.
danger zone right now.
Let's get a roll here.
Well, I mean, they're rolling higher so far, so far so good.
Well, half of us are.
I mean, to be fair, you did pass a pretty solid cell check, and I passed a medicine check, so we're already doing better than last week.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or last session, I mean, not last week. Last session.
All right, so I've got one roll. Let's do this guy. Ugh.
We're fine with them going ew, so we're good with those rolls.
You know, it kind of makes sense too, based on the circumstances. Except for that guy. Okay. Let me go ahead and organize theirs. And I'm going to ask you guys for this way. Okay. Initiatives. 20 and above. 15 to 20.
That would be 18.
Okay. Anyone else? 10 to 15.
Taffet actually got a 16.
Oh, okay. $10 to 15. $5 to 10.
9.
8.
Okay. So, first up in this situation here, the guy at the back of the table over here jumps up and pulls his bow from the side of him and very quickly grabs the quiver that he had on the floor next to the bow, pulls out a couple of arrows, and just unleashes into Maka, the wolf here on the table, because what the fuck? He's going to go ahead and make some attacks. First attack is... Where is it? There it is. A 12.
Does not hit.
Second attack. None of my dice like me. Doesn't hit. Let me try this set of dice tonight.
I love
We
how
are-
this is actually working out in my favor, because this is actually playing out in my head exactly as I thought it would right now.
You've caught him so off guard that he's just what? Grabs the arrows from the quiver and unloads 2 shots in your direction, but is so caught off guard that he doesn't manage to land them. He's just completely caught off guard by this. So he misses his shots and is looking over to the others, like waving his arms a little bit, like, what the fuck do we do? Dream, your turn.
Okay. Question.
Answer.
Has it been 10 minutes since we were outside?
I would say no.
Okay. Then move down here, whip out with my free hand, and this guy right in front of me,
Mhm.
I will go ahead and lash out with my whip and discharge my motes.
Okay. Go ahead and make that attack.
Oh, I guess I have to declare my... I don't have to declare my discharge until I make my attack, huh?
Correct. Same
Convenient.
as a yep, same as a divine smite. So
Oh shoot, I just closed my character sheet.
oh. Well, Maka, you're on deck,
And-
so think about what you'd like to do.
14.
14. Where's the stats for him? Does in fact hit.
Okay. Then I will go ahead and dump my motes into it.
Sure. Give me that damage.
And these are D8 since I'm using both air and earth, right? Or the D6? I forget.
D6s. They're D4s if you don't use both. They're D6s
That's
if you do.
what it was.
Yeah, that was the trade-off. The Divine Smites are D8s, and they're just kind of flat, but they use a spell slot. This is, you build it up over time, get less damage initially, comparatively, but later on you could be an absolute monstrosity.
That is 23 damage.
20.
What?
So much for later being a monstrosity. Describe for me how you take him out in the single shot that you do. You got the jump on him.
Okay. So Whip lashes out, grabs him by the leg, yank it with a slash, and the unleashing of the force energy. After I yank him and throw off his balance, bursts and knocks him into the table behind him.
Yeah. Yanking him, the burst of wind energy carrying him up and sending him off balance. The magnetism of Earth as well, pulling him right back down. Head slams into the side of the table and into the chair. Do you want to do lethal or non-lethal?
Non-lethal.
Knocking him unconscious as he hits his head hard on the back, right at the base of the skull. And he falls unconscious.
Let's see, and that was move, attack. I do not believe I have a bonus action that I want to take, so that'll be my turn.
Okay. Maka, your turn.
First, let me ask, what is the sources of light in this room?
So, just as was in the previous hallway, there are a couple arcane lights that seem to be floating, and otherwise are sourceless, but are up in the on the walls towards the top.
Okay, so there's no real, like, flame to extinguish at this point.
Correct. There's no actual fire to extinguish. It's all arcane lights.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go after the archer because he took some shots at me.
Sure. Go ahead. Move in to get him and make an attack.
Well, actually, question: is that going to open up an attack of opportunity from this guy down here?
It would.
In the okay. Nah, I'll risk it because he shot at me.
Okay.
So I'll be moving out of his space.
Yep. The guy that you moved out of his space does attempt to take his reaction for an attack of opportunity against you. Big old weapon, two-handed weapon. He goes for a swing down towards the table. Ooh. That's unlucky for you. 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
Oof.
And there's a natural 19 on the dice. That's
Oh, well, it wasn't a crit yet.
wasn't a crit, so you take not bad. 5 points of slashing damage.
Okay. I mean, fitting. I took his food.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I'm
Sorry.
going to yeah, I'm going to bite at the head and chest of this archer.
Sure. Make an attack.
18 to hit.
18 definitely hits. Give me some damage.
Double ones.
Aww.
Snake eyes.
5 damage total.
Okay.
Do I see any other apparatus around here that's sort of like the one that was outside that triggered the alarm?
Make an investigation check.
Regular?
Yep. Well, perception actually, rather than investigation. But this is with sight, so it's just standard.
6.
Okay, what you see here, it's too hectic. You're focused on some other things, the smells, the food. Don't see anything immediately like that.
Okay, well then I'm going to move around to this side here, so I'm still within his range, but blocking, basically using him between me and whoever this lady is.
Okay.
And that'll end my turn.
Okay. It's now this lady's turn. She is concerned, to say the least, and is going to go ahead and you know what? Wouldn't pull that, but could pull that. I'm gonna flip a coin essentially here. Let me see. Alright. Is gonna go ahead and turn to. Yeah, okay. Is going to turn to Dream, seeing that, you took out somebody in one shot like that, and is going to attack you with a Ray of Frost.
Oh boy.
So you see, she makes a quick hand gesture in the air as the particles in the air, the moisture, begins to gather and crystallize at her fingertips before she focuses it down into a single point, all 5 fingers, and thrusts her arm forward out towards you. Let's see. She makes an attack. She rolls.
Quick
Yeah.
question: would waking dream also count as technically being behind some cover because of his position?
I mean, I'd argue that. Sort of.
It's a little tight. But just to get kind of vision, we'll say like you were there kind of idea. I could see a path through the door. I can see a path. So I'm gonna have to say
I
she
can
can.
too.
Yeah, she could just barely get you. I forgot what I rolled. I gotta do it again. Hold on.
You rolled low. I remember that.
You don't see my dice. You don't know what I rolled. And it's that modifier. Okay.
You don't know where we put the cameras.
Okay. I think this was lower, but 19 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay. And is with Ray of Frost. This one. Let's go here. Drop the dice. Technical difficulties. Ow. More technical difficulties as I slam my head into things. You take 11 points of cold damage.
That is not good.
That's a significant hit. Okay. After unleashing that strike there, she sees that there's something going on, and decides to step back to the door. And looks like she's trying to fumble with something on her person. And that does it for her turn. Kaiser and Cobalt, the both of you hear the commotion and see ice forming and covering Dream. Dream, how you looking?
I am hurt. Very much so.
So you see that. Kaiser's up first with the 9. What do you do?
I'm just going to look at Cobalt and sort of shrug like, what the fuck happened? And I want to start making my way up here using my movement. So that's 5, 10,
Making my
15, 20, 25, 30. And when I get here, I can more clearly see that Dream apparently took a pretty solid hit. So I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Healing Word.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 1 god plus spellcasting modifier, which is 1 casting modifier again. It's wisdom, so plus 4, so that's 5 plus the spell's level, which would make it 6 plus 2. So 8 points of healing back.
Okay.
On Dream.
Oh, I forgot to...
I don't know who to blame more for this, me or him for opening the door.
You.
So yeah, Dream just basically sees Kaiser come charging up the hallway, grabbing his holy symbol as he's then bathed in just silvery light and his wounds start to close.
Every little bit helps.
Thank you. Mistakes were made.
And then I'm going to use my action to dash. And as I get here and go to pass him, I'll just look over at him like, what the hell happened?
Okay, make that move.
25. That would put me right here at 30 in front of this guy.
Okay.
Between him and Dream.
Yep.
And like I said, so as I pass Dream, I'm just like, what the hell happened?
So yeah, you walk in and you see this scene where it's just there's a couple claw marks on top of the table. There's several dishes that have been knocked off to the side. There's spilt drinks now covering the middle section of the table, some of it dripping down onto the floor. This guy is lying on the floor, his tongue lolling out of his face. The other guy, his two-handed sword just landing in the table, and he's struggling to pick it back out. It's a mess in here.
Now it's Kaiser's turn to just sort of look around with his arms up, confused, like, just what? What?
I was hungry. It smelled so good.
Next up is Cobalt.
Okay, I'm gonna go full monk here and use his key to dash as his bonus action.
Yay, step of the wind.
Step of the wind.
Yeah. So let's see. 40. So I'm gonna sort of just literally like go underneath of Dream and Kaiser around this guy. Basically, I'm just in full sprint mode, so I'll jump up onto the table at 35, see a guy straight in front of Maka jump across the table, and I'm just gonna start punching this guy.
Okay. So jumping over the table, let's go ahead and like jumping up and then over. Give me an acrobatics check.
Hang on, real quick. How high is the table? In all honesty,
It's about eye level for you.
can I just duck down and just go straight under the table at him instead?
Sure. Acrobatics, but easier.
$15.
Okay, plenty. Like, it was anything that basically wasn't a natural one. It's
Jesus
just,
Christ, what is your modifier on that? Holy shit.
6.
yeah, it's a 6 mod on acrobatics. Alright, so you get up right there with him. You're in range.
Yeah, he's just. Unarmed strike. $13.
Still trying to clear the previous dice. There we go. Let's see. You said a 13?
Yeah.
Scroll back up to his stats. 13 is exactly what you needed.
Oh, okay. And just for the fun of it, he's getting acid punched.
Oof.
That's 6 points of acid damage.
Okay.
Yeah, Kobold comes out of under the table and just like kidney punches the guy with acid.
You hear the flesh begin to just sizzle as he lets out a howl of pain from the acid just coating in the leg where the knuckles struck against. Oof, that's... Alright, top of the order.
I have no idea what was going on here. I saw a guy with Maka, that's where I went.
Yep. Top... Oh no, not top of the order yet. It goes to the other guy down at the bottom. He goes ahead and gives a loud grunt and pulls his blade back up out of the table. And now has 2 real options. Let's see which one he goes for. Okay. He's going to go ahead and move himself around the table to get over here to this side, and is going to try to come down at you with his big ol' honking greatsword. Going to take a swing. You're still partially under the table, so he misses terribly. That's what I'm going to say it is.
I punched and I touched back under the table.
Yeah, he goes down and goes for your arm as you're pulling it back, and you're too quick, and he just misses with a grand total of 8 to hit. So yeah, he's now just like, oh, shit. Top of the order.
Okay. As just a slight reaction to that. Okay, Cobalt, because he only has 3 fingers anyway. He's just going to retract the 2 side ones and basically just flip off the guy.
Okay. Yeah. Top of the order. The guy that shot at Maka before is going to go ahead and drop his bow and pull out the short sword on his side, and is going to attempt to strike at Maka, because big scary direwolf, and that's he also, you know what, does he see you? So he sees the little kobold run up and punch him in the leg. He's like, ow, fucking, and then just goes back to swing at the bigger threat. Takes 2 swings at you, Maka. First swing with the sword is a 13 to hit.
That meets.
Okay. You take, wow, 3 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Second swing, so 20, not natural.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Yep. And you take 5 points of slashing damage on that one. So he just comes across, just whoosh, whoosh, just backslashing, and catches you right on the side as he does. 2 little gashes coming against you there.
I just wanted food.
We're not food. He's just
You will be.
Little wetness on the front of his pants now.
And I didn't even have to roll for intimidation.
That will do it for his turn, because yeah, he knows better than to dip out like that. That ain't gonna do him any good. Dream, your turn.
Okay. So, so let's see. Move action. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we'll just stop here. So that is 15 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'll make an improvised attack with the bag of stuff
The people bits
against her.
against her. Okay, so you're trying to make a ranged attack with the bag, essentially,
Yeah.
for a body that has probably about 100 pounds of flesh left over.
Oh, not nearly.
We did
I
not
only
get
have
all
a
of it.
strength of 8. So I
Okay.
couldn't put very much in there to begin with.
Okay, so this is just a couple of the bits, maybe 20 pounds then.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and make the improvised attack, but because you're trying to chuck it at this distance, I'm gonna say make a strength attack on that one.
Oh boy.
5, 10, yeah, so it's 20. I'll give you the 20-foot range, but we'll make it a strength attack on that one.
Wow.
I'm going to attribute that to the fact that this was a very poorly constructed bag anyway, so the bits just fly all over the room.
Okay.
Just
I don't think
ripping
I've ever
body
seen.
parts.
I don't think I've ever seen a 0 before.
As you go to throw this makeshift bag made from a torn up shirt of body parts, you go to lift it up to kind of do like an underhand throw to get the distance that you need, accidentally catch it on the corner of the table, rip the rest of the shirt, just and body parts go flying on the in-between. You picked it up and it was kind of casual before, and you had a little bit of time to react. I'm going to do it for her, and I want you to do it as well. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
$14.
Okay. You are able to fight the urge of feeling very sick to your stomach. She, however, is not. And seeing that, she just... You see what is the equivalent of someone throwing up in their mouth a little bit, and she had to fight that back.
I mean, that's about what I expected would happen to begin with, so I'm going to count that as a win.
Yep. Alright.
And Healing Word is a bonus action, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Then I am going to go ahead and cast Healing Word on myself. Or wait. How is Mako looking?
Maka is a little bruised, and well, I would even say you can't see bruises, but yeah, a little scraped. Not bad though.
Okay, then I'm going to be selfish and use Healing Word on myself.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that healing for yourself. And while you do that, we'll go ahead and move to the next step if there's nothing else.
It looks like I heal for 7.
Very nice.
And that ends my turn.
Sounds good. Maka, your turn.
This poor guy is just living through everything, and I don't know if it's good for him. But I'm going to attack him.
Oh. I don't know why I had rolled it twice.
It's okay. We know you only get the
Does a
7.
22 hit?
22 absolutely hits.
I don't even know what I rolled, but I don't think it was a natural 20. No, that's a +5.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you rolled a 17.
Here we go. That's 11.
Okay.
11 damage. And then, is he gone yet?
Lethal or non-lethal?
I don't know how to do a non-lethal bite.
Where you aim the bite. Because it could be the puncturing that does it, which could be considered lethal, or it could be that you grab him and slam him into the ground.
But you know what? I'm going to go for his sword arm,
Okay.
and I'm going to crush it.
Okay.
So technically non-lethal in that way. Like,
Yep, but as you bite down and snap into his arm, the rest of you in the room hear this loud crack, almost like they do in the movies where they snap a stick of celery, because that's how they make a bone crack in the movies. And you hear an audible scream as this guy drops his sword. It doesn't clang because it's carpeted, and he looks back over at Maka, who's got this guy in his mouth, eyes staring up at him, and he just loses it and falls down to the ground, unconscious.
because I have some working knowledge of magic, I'm going to move across the table over here, and I'm going to lower myself to where I give myself at least half cover underneath the table.
Okay. Go ahead and make an acrobatics check to do both over the table and kind of ducking down appropriately, like in one single movement kind of idea.
21.
Okay, very successful. It's a leap over the top of the table into kind of a quick circle, as dogs do when they're trying to lie down on the ground, and you plant your butt down nice and swiftly.
Okay, and that'll end my turn?
Yep, and you will gain the effects of half cover for that. Which, for attack rolls against you, from anybody that would be the opposite side of cover, will give you a +2 to your AC.
Cool.
Next up is the lady in white. She sees this going down and is going to decide something really fast. Okay. Knows she can do that, but does she know about them? She doesn't know about them. Okay. Seeing her two allies fall and being not 100% aware of circumstances there, she is going to... Yep. Okay. So, because she sees one person is still up, in this section right here, where I'm pinging, you see she's in a little bit of a panic, but then shakes her head and focuses, and opens her hands, splaying out her fingers to cross them in front of her body, before clasping together something into her hands. And as she expands her hands out and her arms go wide, you see a tiny bead of red energy, which then she grabs with one hand and flicks it with the other, sending it careening to the square that I mentioned before. And as it lands in that section, a large fireball of an explosion. I need 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna say Dream is just barely out of this because she's trying to keep the one guy up out of it as well. So I need Kaiser, Maka, and Cobalt to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Does me standing in the doorway sort of covered from where she dropped that help any?
I will give you advantage, yes.
Thank God. Thank God, natural 20.
There you go.
What's funny is that I saw one of those dice knock into the other one to make it a 20.
It sacrificed its roll to save the other ones.
Yeah, we take those. Alrighty then. So this is just the basic there. So let me add this up.
So that's I see an 18, a 20, and a 21.
Okay. So, 18, 20, and 21 on the saves.
Mm-hmm.
All three of you pass. So what was 26 fire damage is reduced to 13 for each of you. Okay. And with that, she churns, reaches forward to the door, and looks like she's messing with the door to do something. And that will be her turn. Kaiser, your move.
Ugh. Kaiser, with a bit of a limp and looking kind of rough right now, steps in. So 5 steps over this poor sod. 10.
Oh yeah, I should. He fails, but based on those rules, okay, I know what I'm doing.
And I'm going to climb up onto the table here.
Okay.
We're not having any more of that. And he's just going to point and draw a circle, pointing at the lady in white near the door. And I am going to cast silence in her area.
Oh, okay. That is just affecting an area. There is no save or anything against it, so...
It's a 20-foot radius sphere around her area.
Yep.
No sound can be created in or through the area for the duration.
Okay. Now, is it a 20-foot radius or a 10-foot radius?
20, it says here. 20-foot radius sphere.
Okay, good. So let's go ahead.
And I'm dropping it centered right on her, so...
Yep, we're going to go ahead and hope that this will work. Okay, it does drag out like that, so let's go back. And if it's centered on her, then it goes out 4. Trying to get the spacing right. I think that's it. No, I only went 3 out. Alright, let's fix that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the area of silence.
Uh-oh.
So basically, we cannot talk, we don't really hear anything, and any spells that require verbal components cannot be used.
Yep.
But my quips.
Okay. Anything else, Kaiser?
I want to sort of reposition a little bit, not leaving this guy's threat range, but sort of reposition more right there.
Sure.
And that will end my turn.
Okay. Let me go ahead and just click you into... Whoops. Just to snap you into grid there. Okay. Next up, Cobalt. Suddenly the world around you goes eerily quiet. Completely quiet. I see you scooted, but I did not hear you say anything.
Cobalt's going to sort of just grab the table and roll up and over.
Mm-hmm.
He's then going to... there's going to be no sound of this for this one, but basically click his tongue, and he doesn't need to actually... He just needs to make the motion, so he's going to do his Breath of the Dragon attack as a straight line doing lightning straight through.
How
And-
long of a line is that?
It's a 30-foot line I can
Ooh,
do.
Okay.
I can do a 20-foot cone or a 30-foot line.
Yep, 30-foot line will do it.
So I am going to just sort of just lightning. So there's going to be no sound for it, just bolts coming out of his mouth.
They need to make dex saves, yeah?
Yes, both of them owe me a dex save.
Okay, guy in the front closer to you. That's a natural 18 on the dice.
He makes it.
I'm just checking his dex bonus. Yeah, so
He's well above it.
yeah, 19. And then Lady in White. Let's see. 11. So I don't think she does.
He does not.
So she's
She was
going
the
to
one
take
that made
full
the line
damage.
anyway. So that is 8 lightning damage, 4 for the guy.
Okay. Everyone can't hear the lightning, but the electricity in the room is absolutely felt. Hair standing on end, fur standing on end as you feel the literal electricity gather and streak across the room into the corner.
Yeah, let me just check. Is that... I think that is my action. That's not a bonus action. That maneuver. Yeah, because it's an attack action. Okay.
Okay.
I can't. I could do a cantrip, can't I?
Only if, because that's an action to use the breath attack, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the breath attack is the action.
So if you had a bonus action cantrip, which doesn't typically happen,
No. I think that's about all I can do. So I'm getting low on key points anyway. I think I want to save my key that I have left. And he's gonna just stand there and sort of like just sort of just ready himself against this guy in front of him.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we'll say that he was okay. The guy in front of you then, it comes to his turn. You can't hear it, but you can very plainly read what he's mouthing, and he says, "Why, you little," and then comes at you with his blade. Goes to take a swing, and just can't seem to land the hit. That's only a 13.
I'm gonna dodge it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna look him square in the eye and sort of just wave my finger like
Okay. For that, you see him get kind of mad and quickly get a little bit of surge and do an action surge and take another swing.
Mm-hmm.
God. It's a little
This guy
better.
sucks.
It's a little better. 14.
I'm gonna dodge that one again, and then continue waving my finger at him.
This guy just cannot hit for shit. Alright, it goes to this situation. Okay. And then it goes to this situation. Okay. Dream, your turn.
Okay. Let's see. One, we're gonna go there. And then there. Lashing out with my lip, or with my whip, I start to do the incantation for Charged Blade.
Mhm.
But obviously I can't do it because it has a verbal component.
Mhm.
So it just ends up being a regular whip attack.
Make your attack.
Force a habit. 15.
15. I need to look something up very quickly. Yep, okay. In the same type of force of habit, you see her try to say something and throw her arm up protectively in front of her. Nothing happens, and you strike successfully.
A shield spell.
Oh.
7 damage.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope. That'll be my turn.
Sounds good. Maka, your turn.
Well, it seems that others are already very worried about the mage caster here, so I'm actually going to go after Mr. Hero No Shot. And I'm going to hop on the table and then basically dive at him with full maw. With an 11 to hit.
Unfortunately, 11 doesn't hit. He's trying to get his sword and his focus, sees you coming in, and as you jump in, he actually kind of sidesteps and pushes your head to the side so the bite doesn't land. And he is still focused on Cobalt.
Damn, Cobalt, you pissed him off.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else I would do right now.
Okay. Next up, it is the Lady in White's go. She's going to turn back to the door. And vision is blocked when she does this from all of you. She does something, turns the handle, and then steps through the door. As she's stepping away, Dream, you do get an attack of opportunity if you want to take it.
I will take it.
Because that whip gives you 10 foot, so...
9.
Not enough. You go to lash out, but she's too quick and lithe and nimble jumping through that door. She goes and slams it behind her, now out of sight. Okay, Kaiser, your turn.
We can't let that stand, so I'll take it if it happens, and I'll go 5, and I'll come down off the table, 10, 15, 20, and I'll stop right in front of the door and examine it.
Okay. Taking a look at the door. You can see on it there is, attached to its handle, some kind of special mechanism to it. This mechanism has a small indentation in it, just like the front door did for you, and the other door that you saw down because you saw the same door situation down there. A small indentation inside of it, and that same kind of glowing light on the inside of the indentation.
I'll take the pendant and put it in.
Okay. You take the pendant, you put it in, nothing happens.
Kaiser will just sort of put his hands over his eyes and just sort of wipe down like a face palm. And then I guess I'll drop. No, I won't. Not yet. That depends. Would you say that everything I did there would take my action then, or would you say I still have it?
Depends on what you would want to accomplish with an action.
I was just going to say, from where I'm at this point, I was just going to take my crossbow and just shoot.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that the focus on the door and the attempt to get it to open, because you had to look at it, you had to figure out what was going on very quickly, and then make the attempt to open it to notice nothing happened as well, that it would take the action, I would say.
Okay, that's fine. That'll be the end of my turn then.
Yeah, if it was something else, like trying to motion to people or something like that, it could have been different, but...
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Cobalt, your turn.
All right. Let's go for a punch.
How many punches?
1.
What punch?
Right now.
Sorry.
I will drive over there and I'll give you 1 punch.
Play nice, you two.
15.
15 is a hit. Give me some damage.
This guy is getting ice.
Okay.
8 points of ice damage.
Flecks of ice begin to just form from the focus of your punch and spread out, kind of covering his body a bit. You see him chilled, but still standing.
Does he look like he mouths off like any bit more of a curse again?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. At this point, now in the process of continuing to mock this guy, he's going to reach into his pocket, pull out a bar of soap, and now wave that at him.
Confusion comes over his face, and then a sudden realization and a deep rage then follows up. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay, his turn. He's gonna take it out on you. He's gonna go for a swing. Maybe this time it'll hit. Who knows? Let's find out. Please be higher than a 6 on the dice, please. It's a 10. So with the bonus, 15?
Dodge and continuing to wave the soap.
In pure frustration, he's just going to take his sword and slam it into the table a couple times next to you. Just like, it's not an actual attack. He's just, attacking the table. Let's go to this other thing that I gotta check. Okay.
Selma's throwing a temper tantrum.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're on a temper tantrum. Check that one. That one's good. Okay, Dream, your turn.
He doesn't have a good enough gamer chair.
Okay, with Mako right there, do I get... Oh, no, wait. Never mind. I answer my own question. I'm gonna whip the guy in the back.
Okay, go ahead and make that attack.
18.
18 hits. Give me damage.
For 5.
Okay. He's looking weak, but you can see all of his rage and frustration is just honed in on this little kobold.
Okay, and then after that, I'll go ahead and move around over here and see if there's anything I can do to, or try and see if I can't try and help understand the mechanism.
Sure. We will say that with the attack, you don't have time to do a thorough investigation here.
Right.
So let's do a perception check with disadvantage to see if you can notice anything real fast.
Oh, okay. Oh! 21.
I was setting the DC at 15, just to notice, and a 21 on both of the dice in total means that you do see around the indentation a circle of some kind of yellowish, almost gold appearing color.
I'll tap it, or I'll tap next to it 4 times. Maybe that'll give Kaiser an idea.
Okay.
And turn.
Sounds good. Cobalt, your turn. Oh, wait, I skipped a lot. What am I doing? Maka, your turn. My brain just went, oh, finish him off. No, it's Maka, it's your turn. Sorry.
It's okay.
I have become the NPC. My rage against Cobalt made me want him to finish it.
I'm gonna go after even though he's so raging, this is the perfect time for me to go in. By the way, what would be a flank since he's so concentrated on Cobalt?
Flanking, is this off of an ability that you have?
Yes.
Essentially, stepping to the back there will allow it.
Okay. Then that is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So that I can take advantage of Hunt as 1.
Yep.
So that will give me an advantage on a flanking attack.
Hunt as 1.
Which 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
That's 9 damage.
Lethal or non-lethal?
Since we've tried to go non-lethal so far, I'm going to treat this guy just like I did the last one. I'm going to break some bones in order to incapacitate him.
Unlike last time, no one hears a darn thing. But you could see the rage seething as it finally breaks and he falls to the ground.
I'm going to in this case, because I know how painful it can, because it's like one of the most painful bones you can break. I'm going to go for the shoulder and collar bones.
Oh.
Because I can tell this raging guy is probably going to take a little bit more pain to incapacitate, unlike the archer.
Yep, he drops down. So, okay. Anything else?
Don't ask how Maka knows that information.
Anything else for you?
If that's the end of combat, no, that's it. Although I will say that Maka is now officially bleeding and limping a little bit.
Okay. Let's go ahead and check.
I will. What if combat's over? Just tell me if combat's over.
Combat is now over, based on the
Okay.
circumstances ahead of you.
Okay, so out of everything, out of all this chaos, what food is there left?
There's a couple bits of cornbread.
Are there potatoes?
There are no potatoes.
Oh,
There's a salad with some tomatoes.
salad. Nah.
But that
I'll be getting the cornbread though. Yeah, I'm gonna start munching on cornbread.
Okay.
Keeping in mind, I'm keeping my zone of silence up for now still.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and Maka, as soon as this guy drops, the Maka just goes back to like all over the floor to look for the scraps that didn't get stepped on. And
Since we're out of combat, Cobalt's going to just get down, put the bar of soap in that guy's mouth because he was really saying things that he should not. And then he'll join Maka and he'll have the salad.
Okay.
And Maka, while they're figuring out the door, we're bleeding and injured, but we're gonna eat.
I mean, it's like Skyrim, right? That's what you do. You eat and you gain your health back. It's fine.
Yep.
All right. What are the other two of you doing?
So, Dream said he tapped at the gold indention that he saw to try and get Kaiser's attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Kaiser will look at it for a sec and sort of stroke his chin. And then Dream just sees Kaiser's eyes light up in an aha moment, and he'll give Dream a thumbs up. And I want to walk over, come around, and I want to check these two to see if they have any similar pendants.
Okay. Checking through for the pendants, you can very easily tell, going through everything, that they do not have any pendants on them that resemble, even remotely, the kind that would fit into that situation. If you want to look for other things, you can do an investigation check, but it is pretty apparent for a quick search that they do not have that.
I'm not interested in that sort of stuff right now. Well, seeing that they don't have any, fuck it, I'll go across the table and I'll check this guy as well.
Alright. Checking him, similar.
God damn it. Kaiser will finally snap his fingers and I'll drop the zone of silence.
Okay.
I'm like loudly crunching the salad.
Let's see. I think I need to... Will it clear all of them? I hope not. Yeah, no, I don't want to delete all of them. I'm looking for a way to just clear that circle. Maybe I can just right-click on it?
Yeah, you have to click on it.
Yay!
There we go. Okay. combat has concluded. Let's go ahead and take a quick look here at what I can do. Let's try this music. Because we've got a little bit of an eerie situation and you've got other things going on. Let's swap to that. Okay.
When I'm done with my salad, I'd like to check these guys, see what they have on them. Maybe some potions.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigate check for me.
And while he's doing that, Kaiser's going to come back to the door with Dream, and he's going to cough a little bit, and he's going to look at his hand, and then he's going to just spit on the floor intentionally, and just blood will spray and stain their floor from his mouth.
Okay.
Wow. Straight 18.
Okay.
I have a 0 in my investigation.
Taking a look, with an 18, you are confident that they don't have anything of value on them.
What do they have?
Pretty much the weapons that you saw, their standard clothing, and each one of them does, in some capacity, have the marking that you saw before, which was also on the pendant, but this marking seems to be like not on a pendant in the same size kind of idea. Some of it are like the one guy towards the front of the door has it tattooed on his arm. The other two have it just like as a card in a pocket.
Great.
Dream will look over to Kaiser and down at the spit, the blood spit, like, I take it you're not feeling tip-top shape right now.
You can just look over Kaiser, and yeah, he's like pretty cut up and bloody right now. It's like, yeah, no, I'm starting to feel it right now.
Perhaps you need some rest.
And well, I'm thinking about it. Kaiser will shake his head, and he'll put a hand on himself, and I'll cast Healing Touch on myself.
Okay.
Cobalt will sort of just poke up from the table after like running around these guys' pockets, be like, and I got set on fire. You can see like a whole side of him is just like singed and burned.
Oh, goodness. Oh. Yeah, that didn't look like it felt good.
So that'll be 10 points of healing back to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna sniff my way around the room some more. Just, just investigating.
Okay. Make a investigation check, but with advantage.
Ha! 8.
Okay.
Found some pretty flowers.
The smell of blood in the room and the singe carpet fibers from the explosion, they're messing with your sense of smell right now. It's really not working out for you, unfortunately.
Humans have strange magic.
Humans can also have some painful magic too. Really.
Well, it's quite hot. Should we rest before we go forward?
Probably not at the immediate moment. We still got that caster lady who went through the door. We probably shouldn't leave that alone.
I am also going to point out to you, she went through that door, but you do have this door here, and this door here.
I'm going to the top door, and I'm going to... Are they airtight doors?
Not airtight, no.
Okay, so I can sniff underneath it.
You can. But because you rolled that investigation before for the same kind of idea, I'm going to say the same result. It's too soon to roll another check for that.
Okay.
As much as I would like to take a little bit of a breather, not only does someone know that we're here, but we're also within enemy territory. It's entirely possible that someone would just stumble on us while we're trying to catch our breath.
When you chase the bear into its cave, you should probably be prepared to take a few swipes.
That said, do we have any more healing potions? While I'm talking, I'm going to go ahead and cast Mage Armor on myself, because I forgot that I can cast it on myself at will.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're having an exchange, I'm going to come down and investigate this bottom door.
Okay. Standard wooden door. Doesn't appear any fancier, doesn't seem to have any kind of mechanism on it or anything of that nature. What you're looking at is just a normal everyday door.
I'm going to reach forward and lightly check the handle, see if it's locked.
Not locked.
I will creak the door open slightly and just sort of peek inside.
Sure. Taking a quick peek inside, what you are able to see are a couple boxes, kind of crates, stacked up inside of what appears to be a room tiled instead of carpeted in here. A smell immediately hits you of herbs and spices.
I think I found their food storage.
Did you say food?
I did, and I'll at that point I'll just throw the door open.
Okay. Throwing the door open. Reveals to you this room. Several boxes of foodstuffs and supplies in the corner. A cooking top that you see over there. A kind of basin for water. Several cupboards to store additional things on the opposite wall. Let's check to see... Okay. Yep, pretty standard, pretty straightforward. That's what you see.
I'll walk in and I'll start looking through the crates, seeing what sort of foodstuffs is actually in here.
Sure. Make an investigation check for me.
I follow
I was
on
about to
Kaiser's
say,
heels.
of course, Maka would be following.
Maka, are you rifling through the food as well?
Yeah.
One of you can make it at advantage then.
Oh shit!
Oh.
I don't find shit. I did not mean to roll that at advantage either.
Because they were both so terrible, a 1 and a 2, Maka, I'll let you roll an investigation.
Regular or advantage?
Just regular.
One return.
Hey, at least we're getting them out of the way now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's what you do manage to find are all pretty standard things: sacks of flour, bits of pulled out rations that seem to have been like preserved in some kind of a capacity, some jerky. That's about it.
Kaiser will grab the rations and the jerky, and I'll stow those.
Okay. It's with a natural 1 on both sides from you guys. I'm gonna have to say that you're able to piece together 2 rations, and the jerky is just a snack.
I'm gonna. Baka's gonna paw at his nose. All I can smell is burnt carpet.
All right, the curiosity's got me at this point. Cobalt's gonna limp. Is this door? He's gonna test the door handle.
It's unlocked.
He's gonna slowly creak it open and take a look inside.
Okay. With a slow peek inside, you can see and tell that there is nobody in the room currently. And what you do see is... Let me go ahead and make sure I read the right section. It's a small office space, best you can gather. 2 chairs, 2 desks, some papers strewn about on top of the desks, but otherwise, the room is empty.
Alright, I'm gonna open the door and go in.
Okay. Go ahead and reveal the area to you guys. There we go.
I'll investigate the papers on the desk.
Okay. Give me an investigation check, please.
And while he's doing that, hearing Maka complain about the only smelling the burned carpet, guys will sort of pat him on the head, and I'll give him the jerky as a comfort bite, basically.
There is no comfort bite. The jerky is gone.
6.
Okay. It takes you the better part of 5 minutes or so to rifle through these papers. Most of them have things that you just don't seem to understand. A lot of scientific jargon, different ledgers of things being shipped around into different places, abbreviations that you don't seem to understand. But after about 5 minutes, something does strike, and because it's you specifically, it strikes you as important. I'm going to attempt to show this. It should have popped up on your screen. And of course, you guys can go ahead and close that whenever you're ready. For the people watching, it might be a little small, so I'm going to say out loud. Early attempts at utilizing a powerful relic known as Eothfa's Gaze have proven unsuccessful in stabilizing the experiments. Item relocated to Aferit for storage.
Cobalt is going to take that page and fold it up and put it in his pouch.
Okay.
During all of that, while he was doing that, Kaiser would have come back out and seen that the door was open now and made his way up into the room as well.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at this room, you said it's only the 2 desks in here, right? There's no cupboards
Correct.
Or cabinets or anything.
Just the 2 desks with 2 chairs and a bunch of papers.
Do these desks have drawers by chance?
They do not.
I'll show that the you know the paper that says a relic, and I'm gonna just say this might be what I'm looking for.
Oh, this might be one of your treasures you were hunting then.
Yes.
Well, cool. You finally have a lead on that. Maybe we can find something as we go through this place then.
Yes, we must find a way to get to after it.
Okay. Maka,
Also,
you
it's-
still enjoying your food?
I mean, jerky is only going to be a couple of snaps, so
True.
um,
And then also checking in with Dream, seeing what you're doing.
Yep.
Check over here. Yep. So I do see, Bengali, you are currently muted. Don't know if you knew that or not.
Sorry, guys. People were trying to talk to me.
It's all good.
So I am going to, or in preparation for more enemies, basically,
Mhm.
I will go ahead and cast Earthen Blast to put the discus on my arm and increase my armor class by an additional 1.
Okay.
So right now, or at least for the next 10 minutes, I have an armor class of 17.
Very nice.
Is that another door behind me?
That is another door behind you.
And then I will advance into this room with the others.
Okay.
Once Dream is in here, Kaiser is going to look around. Okay, so that door that the lady went through, we either need to, best as I can gather from researching this pendant earlier, we either need to find another way around, or we need to find another pendant that would grant us access to that door. I guess you could say these pendants are magically encoded.
And they only open certain doors?
Exactly. Because Dream pointed out in the other room that the device that's locking that door had a gold ring around it. The pendant that we currently have only gives access to silver, I assume.
That sounds logical. We can always check this store right here. It's probably just a closet, but maybe it'll have a backup key.
That's the hope, anyway.
I've seen movement.
Where did Maka go?
Maka?
Where did Maka go?
Maka
Oh.
is muted.
Maka is muted.
Maka is moving out into the hallway, back into the hallway, because all other doors are blocked and we've seen all of this, and doesn't understand what conversation's going on in the other room, and is following his nose down the hallway into another door.
Okay. Taking a look at that door, you see what appears to be two very crude and basic silhouettes of humanoid figures standing next to each other, separated by a solid black line, vertical.
Two silhouettes of people.
Mm-hmm.
Connected or separated by a black line?
Separated.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I'm going to sniff underneath the door.
Oh, rip your nose.
Rip your nose. It does.
I don't know what I'm doing.
It does not smell pleasant in there. It smells of excrement in multiple fashions.
I was about to say, Maka just found himself in a shitty situation.
Uh-huh.
Ba-dum-ching.
I was half expecting him to break down the door and drink out of the toilet.
Unlike the other doors.
Is the door can you push the door open, or is this another one of those doors where you have to have a handle?
Unlike the other doors, this one does not appear to have a handle and seems to be able to be just swung open.
Alright, I'm gonna peer in.
Okay. Peering in, you see big reveal. Da 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 da. Oh god. That's not where I wanted to go. Hold on.
That's my line.
Find someone pants down.
It is just centering incorrectly. Hold up. Let's try this instead. For some reason it has my if I change the tool, maybe that'll do it. Yeah, that did it. Alright, good. Like I said, big reveal! It's a hallway.
Oh, well, there's another door at the end, though.
There is.
Does the smell get stronger at that door?
It does. This is also a swing door.
Oh, I'll peek into that one.
Okay. Taking a peek into this room.
Another big reveal.
Another
hallway.
Another hallway. No, not this time. We're gonna go back to here. We're gonna go up to here.
This is where the horror movie starts, where like the big animal is like like slowly going around the bathroom.
Yep. You immediately get the whiff of everything that's going on. You see multiple water basins in front of you, several doors that seem to have some makeshift lock, and you hear from one of the stalls somebody, male probably, grunting, and looking over in that direction you see a set of boots on the floor on the bottom of the door.
Pull him out by his boots.
Let's find out what you do after we go ahead and take a little bit of a break. Because I think finding the bathroom is the perfect time to go take a bathroom break. We'll be back, guys, in just 10 minutes, give or take. Don't go anywhere. Let's see what kind of a shitty situation we just got ourselves into. Be right back. Okay. And we are back. Hello again, everybody. Thank you for letting us take that short break. It was much needed. We got the hydrate, we got the stretch. Everybody took care of themselves, I hope. So, yeah. How's everybody feeling? A little singed?
Getting a little hot in this room, let me tell you.
I still can't smell correctly, but I'm trying.
So where we left off before the break, Maka disappeared down and discovered, as far as he can see, a lone person in a bathroom stall down in the facility's bathroom, while the other three are still up in this office. What would you three like to do?
We are not alerted to the fact that Maka is gone yet, so...
You did bring up that he's not there, but you don't know what has happened with him just yet.
Yeah. Gonna give this door a once over, see if it's specially locked or anything.
Checking the handle, it is not locked in any significant capacity. Handle is pretty free, able to do whatever you need.
I'll look back to Dreaming Cobalt. Just sort of, again, just creak this one open and just take a peek inside.
Okay. I had to change my tool really fast so I could denote that. And flip here. Opening the door reveals to you a room that for the most part is pretty insignificant. 2 beds and a table sitting in between them. It seems to be everything that's in this room here. What you do notice is the door straight across from you on the south side has the same mechanism attached to its handle that the previous door did in the blue carpeted room.
I'm going to go down and look at the mechanism and see what color ring it has on it.
Golden.
Of course. I'll give the bedroom at this point. I'll walk around and see if I can spot anything that might be of interest.
Sure.
Or that might help.
Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
While he's doing that, Cobalt is going to be removing the blankets off of this bed and stuffing them in his bag to replace his now missing sleeping bag.
Yeah, no, I don't find anything.
Yeah, so it was a straight
The
investigation.
wallpaper is interesting.
Yep, it was a straight investigation, so I have to take your first roll, which was a
Yep,
natural
that's-
one.
That's the one I was going off of. That's why I said the wallpaper's very interesting
This
all
is
of a
super
sudden.
interesting. Look at the patterns, and it's all pretty and stuff. Oh my god. Yeah, it's a bedroom. Couple of beds, seems to be like a small place for whoever's here to take a rest without needing to leave the facilities.
Yeah. Cobalt, since he's in the room with Kaiser, he just sees Kaiser sort of looking over the room, stroking his chin. And then Kaiser looks at Cobalt with a serious look. Well, I can say with 100% certainty this is, in fact, a bedroom.
Cobalt didn't even look over at you. He saw the bed and just stripped it down and just taking the blankets because his bedroll was destroyed the other day. So
Yeah.
he's replacing that.
We will say that this will count as a replacement bedroll for you, yes.
Right, so it was mentioned that Maka wasn't here, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you two have got it from here. I'm gonna go see if I can't track down Maka.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
Okay.
Before I do step out, is there anything in this on or in this nightstand here in the center?
Nope. Totally empty. It has no drawers. It is just a basic place to rest something on top of, should you want to. But nothing is currently on top of it.
Okay. Then I'll follow suit with the others.
Okay. So go ahead and move your tokens,
That's
guys.
probably about 1 turn's worth of movement.
Right now we're out of combat, so you're just free to move.
Okay.
Well, where did he go?
Speaking of, Maka, welcome to the bathroom. What you doing?
I'll see the peeking in the door. I'll see the boots, and I'll hear the music,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just kind of, low, but probably still out of a stinky, and then move back into the hallway.
The rest of you see Maka reemerge from a swinging door.
Maka,
Oh,
you
Maka
need to-
had to go potty.
Oh.
No,
So you found the bathroom.
is that what you call it? And this one person, doing business in there.
One person, you said.
Let's get the
Is
jump
it
on him.
business?
He might have something that could help us get through these doors.
Okay. I guess I will follow back behind them.
So,
Dream, you keeping up as well?
Affirmative.
Okay.
do I see where he is?
Yeah, the boots are very visible. It's tight spaces there. It's a miracle that you can fit into this stall in the first place.
Firebolt.
What?
Right at the feet, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
And speaking of that, while he's casting that, looking at the door real quick, do I tell which way that it opens?
You can tell that it opens outward.
Okay, but like on the left or the right side?
Oh, yeah, the hinges are... It's going to swing out and to the left. So, as the door will
So
open,
it'll
block
open-
to the
it'll-
left.
It'll block here then. It'll block where my token is.
Yeah, it'll block that side.
Okay, Kaiser will position himself right here then and ready his mace.
Okay.
This poor guy.
This poor guy.
This poor son.
So, with the firebolt, because he is technically behind 3/4 cover, he gets a +5 to his AC.
21.
Well, fuck.
That +5 did not matter.
It's gonna be
Alright,
hot
so,
toddy.
so I don't see this guy lasting very long against you guys. And with a +5, he had 20 AC. So you still managed to just ignite his foot. Give me some damage. Let's see how much you deal.
But does the extra methane in the stall also ignite?
Man,
So just blow up the toilet. It's 8 fire damage.
Okay. It's curious that you should say that. I'm going to figure out if that actually is what happens. Hold on. We're gonna do a percentile, and let's see. I'm gonna say 40% chance. So 0 to 40 that it ignites.
I wanted to. I really do.
37. Okay. Here's what's gonna happen. Because this is a literal explosion, we are going to go ahead and treat this like a pseudo fireball. You did the D10. I'm gonna roll 4d6, which is half of a fireball. He has no chance to save, but because it's a fireball and it has a little bit of range, we're gonna cut it to 10. Kaiser, your position, I need a dex save from you as well, but this is only 4d8 or 4d6 that's coming out, not 8d6. So let's see what we've got here, and I'm gonna set the what's the DC of your fire? What's your DC, Cobalt, for like your spells? It's like 13 or something.
13.
All right, so we're gonna set the threshold at 13. for the DC to dex save out of that. And you wouldn't have advantage or disadvantage on a dex save.
Yeah, I know. I could have swore I set it back to normal, but
Maybe. But we take the first roll, and even the second roll of a 13 is enough. So you will only take half damage from this explosion. 46. The guy sitting on the toilet takes 20 points of fire damage. A 4, a 5, a 5, and a 6. Kaiser, you take 10. That's now 28 fire damage because of what he was sitting on. And I'm going to say, because of the hilarity of all of this, surprised and crit. I'm doubling it. That puts it to 56 points of fire damage from this explosion and the firebolt. He was literally caught with his pants down. What else are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
Is that blood or sauce?
That's definitely blood this time. My lord. Okay. The door flings itself off of the hinges. It goes careening down into the long corridor in front of the stalls, the other stalls just slamming against the wall and falling flat as this guy falls out of it, singed, gasping for air, and bare-assed as the day he was born.
Hashtag sponsored, not sponsored by Taco Bell.
He falls flat, and this is technically a surprise round, so Cobalt, you got yours. Kaiser, you said you were readying your mace. Do you want to go for that strike?
Yeah, because the moment that he stepped out, I was just going to try to ping him in the head and knock him out.
Yep. Go ahead with an attack. He is prone. You get advantage.
For a total of 10 to hit.
10 doesn't hit. The unexpected burst of fire damage caught you off guard, and you were a little too late on the swing, and unfortunately just missed. Maka, Dream, either of you guys want to do something?
No.
I'm fairly certain the others have it, and I just felt a burst of heat from this doorway, so I'm...
The smell has to be absolutely obnoxious at this point to you.
I mean, it is burnt fecal matter at this point.
Yeah.
Burnt hair, leather,
warmed it
fecal matter.
Yep.
Cobalt is just staring at his hand like he cannot believe that happened.
Yep. Hashtag poo gas. Alright, he manages to regain himself for a second before just screaming out in pain and just trying to pat himself out and curling up into what is essentially a fetal position. He looks up and just his eyes go wide with fear, as they should after literally getting your ass blown to bits while on the toilet. But he's looking up in pure fear at the two of you that have made yourself very readily visible.
Surrender or I'll do it again.
I surrender. I surrender. What the fuck? What the fuck? It's just he's beside himself.
Cobalt is throwing his hands in the air. I am a dragon.
Hey, fella, listen. We're looking for a pendant. or some sort of device that opens the doors around here. Where can we find one?
Okay, let's see. Coherent enough, make a persuasion check.
Jesus Christ!
He is so completely beside himself with a natural 1 from you. He's completely dumbfounded by fear. He is gibbering incoherently. I said he was coherent enough. Not with a natural 1, he's not. He's a babbling mess at this
I'm
point.
just sort of imagining like Dream's point of view on this, where like the other two go in, the wolf is sort of like, peeking its head, and all of a sudden you hear, and the wolf backs off a step. Like
2 zeros in one day.
Yeah,
That's got to be a record.
it's quite a number of zeros, but it happens. Yeah, he is a babbling mess. So you can tell with that you're not going to be able to get any good information out of him by talking.
Oh. Cobalt, would you want to give him a once over, see if he has anything that might be important on him?
Sure.
Okay. Investigation check for me.
Seven.
Okay. It takes you a bit because he's trying to back away from you, but is in so much pain that he really can't do it successfully. And there are shards of porcelain and whatnot behind him, so that only hurts a little bit more. It takes you a minute, but you see something shining, almost like a necklace, and a charm at the end of a necklace around his neck.
So he's gonna just scream, "Ooh, shiny," and snatch it.
The guard screams in panic and faints.
Okay, well then I can take the pendant.
Oh, that's wrong tool.
Is it a gold pendant or a silver pendant?
It's metallic. Looks
Let me see it for him.
I'm
Cobalt.
gonna clean it with some soap.
okay. Cleaning it up, it has the same kind of appearance and metal that the other pendant that you came across does. It has the same kind of symbol. It does not seem to be any different from an appearance perspective.
I'll hold my hand out. May I for a moment, Cobalt?
He'll hand it over.
And once it's in his hand, Kaiser will lower the goggles over his eyes and identify it.
This one comes back as a security clearance token, gold level.
Perfect. Found what we were looking for.
I helped. And
A
he's
little too much.
proudly step out of the bathroom.
Before he does, though, as he makes the I help statement, Kaiser's going to be like, yeah, a little too much, and wipes a bit of soot off his face.
Well, this exploded in a way I did not anticipate. Okay, you guys have a gold token. What's your next move?
We should probably go back and try to deal with that sorceress before she can cause any more problems. And I'll sort of lead the way out of the bathroom if the others are following.
Okay.
proudly following.
What in the nine hells did you do?
He moved in. I love it. It is quite a spectacle in there, let me tell you.
Kaiser just calls back. The man had a case of explosive diarrhea.
Oh.
Put him ching.
I did say that I aspire to ascend to becoming a dragon.
Are we? Yeah, we're done in there, aren't we? Yeah, we're done in there.
Yeah, we're done. We're gonna head back up this way for now.
Okay. So from the looks of it, you're heading back into the room with the carpeting, and I assume
Yep.
going to that door, yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Attempting the pendant.
Yep.
Sure enough, pops in, and you get a little receptive click, and the door unlocks.
Let me see something here. Bum. Okay, so I'm going to start the cast for silence, and I'm going to open the door, and if I see the sorceress lady, that'll be the trigger for me to cast it as I'm opening the door.
Okay. Now, it will consume the spell slot to pre-cast the spell.
That's fine.
Okay. Opening the door, you can see inside the room and see no person inside the room. Looking through the rest of the room, what you are able to see is a desk in the southern corner, a black device resting on top of it with what appears to be some kind of a projection above it. There are several papers next to the device and crates lining the back wall, open.
It's clear in here, you guys.
I'm gonna sniff over the crates.
Okay. They're crates. You doing a more intense sniff? What you doing?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you searching for? Or are you just trying to...
I'm searching for any strange smells that might lead to things that are recognizable, like food or herbs, things of that nature.
Sure. Go ahead and roll an investigation check with advantage because you're using your smell.
20 total.
With a 20, you pick up in the center crate something that smells like death, decay, but old decay, and then it shifts back into new, then back to old. It's very strange.
It sort of smells like a fungi, a mushroom of some sort. Like it dies and then comes... It's like it dies and then it gets... It's hard to describe. In this middle one here, it's as if it decays and then doesn't decay, and then decays a little more and then a little less. Rotten, and then less rotten, and then more rotten.
Could they have been using them to store body parts, maybe?
I can't see into the crate.
Dream, would you mind taking a peek in there, seeing what's there?
If I must.
And while he's going over there to do that, Kaiser's attention is on the desk, and he wants to look through these papers to see if anything sticks out.
Okay. Dream, go ahead and make an investigation check for me. This is for something additional, because Maka is going to be guiding you to the thing that he smells.
I got an 8.
Okay. It takes a little bit to shuffle through. You end up finding a couple pouches of different dusts, as far as you can gather, because they're in a pouch and they're sealed. You stumble past a rock, and down with all of that, you end up seeing what appears to be the source of the odor that Maka is referring to. This is a sizable, and I'm talking 2 foot to 3 foot long, fang.
What? I'm sorry, what could this have come from?
Do you have anyone, because this is being pulled up and you're looking at it, anyone can go ahead and make a nature check, and if you're proficient, let me know.
I am proficient.
Okay.
I am not proficient, so...
And still only got a 9.
That wasn't supposed to be with advantage.
We take the first one then, which appears a 9.
I got a 12.
Okay. 12 is the highest of the rolls, and you are not proficient in nature, correct?
I am not.
Okay. Let's see. Are you proficient in religion?
I am not.
Okay.
I am.
I'm proficient in Arcana.
Because I wanted to go with the nature is an intelligence or a wisdom?
Intelligence. All of the knowledge skills, I believe, are intelligence-based.
Yeah, most of them. I think... Yeah, okay. What's your plus to Arcana?
+2.
Okay, so that would be a 14 if we went with the Arcana route. Let's go ahead and go with the Arcana route for you, because that's the best roll regardless in this one. This is large enough that it obviously comes from some kind of a large creature. That's what you're able to get out of a nature initially. This large of a creature has been seen before, and it is one of the kinds of gargantuan levels of creatures. The arcana that you get from it helps explain it a little bit more. This fang is infused with necrotic magics. It is in a constant state of decay and regeneration, and when applied in some ways, could theoretically do the same to something else when a creature with a fang like this would bite it. The exact creature you do not know, but you do know it is large enough that it can only rival the creatures of legend themselves, some form of a dragon.
Now, stop me if I'm wrong, but something this large can only come from something that is unreasonably tall. And I'm sensing necrotic energy from it. It's... Are there any creatures, dragons maybe, that are necrotic in nature? Please say no.
Cobalt's gonna look right at you and be like, I would, but it would be wrong to lie.
Oh dear.
Cobalt, go ahead and give me a... You said you're proficient religion?
Yes.
Go ahead and give me a religion check, and because of your specific religion, advantage.
$18.
With an 18, you know that necrotic-inspired or infused dragons are a thing. One existed, and it was the first to be seen about 500 years ago. It was risen outside of an abbey, outside of the city of Sanctuary's keep on the opposite side of the continent of Windus, where you currently are. This dragon was defeated, but its essence spilled into the land and went out into the surrounding areas. A clutch was never found, and spawned from it a couple necrotic-based dragons. These dragons are known in your lore and in your history as a blight scale dragon.
So yeah, he's gonna relay that, and because that's from a blight scale dragon, and they are not nice. They're bad, and I
No.
kind of want that tooth.
Light scale.
Well, it's... Okay, we could take it with us, I suppose?
Kaiser, I see you at the desk. You doing anything?
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that while they were doing that, Kaiser would be looking through the papers, seeing if anything of interest
Sure.
was in them.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check on the papers.
Come on. 10.
Standing out on top of the papers, in what seems to have been shuffled around in a rush, there is one paper that stands out right on the top for you. Go ahead and check your screen. For the crowd, after several attempts have been made to remove the necessity for blood in our proceedings through CA, and those requests have been denied, we remaining few are attempting to use monster parts as replacements in the rituals. Many creatures across the realm have innate magics in them since the Epoch incident near 500 years ago, and these magics have been utilized in other ways, so it stands to reason we could remove blood as a component for these types of spells. One component hasn't arrived yet, a black liquid-like substance that shows some semblance of intelligence. It's being transported from Doranel through Gunner's Pass and likely will arrive in a few weeks.
Kaiser looking over, he would read it out loud for the rest of the party to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that would make sense then. It has to be... That has to possibly be arriving soon.
Well, unless that's dated, we'll never know.
Because the guards out front asked earlier when I said we were here to speak to the warden mentioned that he was at Gunner's Pass.
I see.
Oh boy, so something tells me we should probably be making more haste at this point.
Right. Where are the... We still haven't found the goblins, though.
Or where
There's
that
all-
crazy girl
mean-
went.
Well, there's this device here on the table.
Maybe that's how the the wizard left here?
It's possible. And
You
let's see
taking a
here.
look at the device specifically?
Yeah, I want to Arcana check it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check then.
Nice!
Roll 20.
This, with a natural 20, this is a very rare device. What it is capable of doing is creating some kind of a array where you can speak to it and create lists, create different ways of writing down things. It stores these things in projections that you can then move through and store on this black crystalline device. On this device is currently a projection that lists out a couple different things. What it's listing for you here is Fang of a Blight Scale Dragon, a magically infused stone, 10 gold worth silver dust, one potion of healing, 4 energy crystals. But this device, for simple terms, is essentially a arcane laptop computer.
I'm gonna look in the other boxes. There's these other items in the boxes.
So, looking through, as Dream did before, he managed to find a couple pouches of things, found a rock that he knocked over to the side, but you don't see any potions, any vials, or anything listed in there, and crystalline structures of some sort also don't appear to be there.
Wait a second. I would like to make another investigation. Sorry. I would like to sniff around the room
Mhm.
for the lady that came in here, because I realized that this is a dead end and we went around the other way.
Make an investigation check with advantage.
$14 total.
With a 14, you are able to follow the trail vaguely. She came in, but did not leave. The scent is not strong enough, though, to indicate that she is still here.
Where did the woman go that we chased in here? She should be cowering in a corner like a scared rabbit.
That is my question.
She was a spellcaster. Maybe she knew some sort of teleportation magics.
I'm gonna start
Then
poking in the
how
corners.
could one use teleportation magics to leave such a distance that we could not find where she went?
Oh, there are multiple ways. If she or
I should have marked her when I had this chance.
if she had an item that connected her to another location, there could be a teleportation ring.
The warden was able to teleport in the different places of the prison that we were in.
That is true.
Maybe she just teleported somewhere else in here. There was the other door in the hallway.
Other door?
Yeah,
Yeah,
down near the bathroom, there's some other doors.
Pardon me for not noticing. I was still reeling from the event that happened in there.
I'm still feeling the effects from the events that happened in there.
I'm still proud of the effect of what happened in there.
All right, before we go on, Kaiser wants to give this one more look over to see if there's like anything else that he can do to maybe see if there's anything else stored on this thing.
Yeah, with a natural 20 on the Arcana check for it, you can see that there currently is no other set. Well, no. Actually, with a natural 20, I'm going to reward you with a big log here. You're able to pull something up by swiping around on the facet, one of the facets of the crystalline structure there, and it denotes that this is stored on a alternate device, but it pulls up a long log. This is a lot of reading, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show this to you guys. I will go ahead and read this out for those watching as well. Log 1. Today marks the first of our experiments at this facility. Mr. Astrophel has tasked us with delicate research into demonic magics to be used in an impending conflict. Volunteers will undergo injections and amplification spells. Log 5. After several attempts to stabilize subjects 1 through 6 have failed, new methods are being employed for subjects 7 through 12. Amplification spells will be greater in number, but lesser in power, requiring more blood overall. A request to Mr. Astrophel has been sent. Log 6. Several feral goblins have arrived today under capture by a small band of hunters. They were hired by Mr. Astrophel to bring new test subjects, and in the documentation we are to use these new assets for the increased blood requirements. Several of us have voiced our dissent to unwilling subjects, but it's for the greater good. Log 10. Subjects 7 through 12 were mostly unsuccessful, but have stabilized. A strange side effect, though, all subjects have lost their memories. We refer to them now by their numbers, and have arranged for a healer to evaluate them once the experiment is concluded. Log 15. Number 7. Assigned to guard duty, front gate. Number 8. Relocated to Dialt facility. Number 9. Relocated to Dialt facility. Number 10. Assigned to guard duty, front gate. Number 11. Deceased. Number 12. Relocated to Gunner's Pass. Log 17. Subject 13 was given injections and amplification spells. Male Goblin. Stress testing with radiant energies shows promise of triggering demonic abilities reliably. Log 23. Several members of the team have quit, citing ethical treatment of the feral goblins. We remaining few stay for science or the pay to support our families. A side project has been started to attempt to make the goblins redundant, allowing us to free them. Log 24. Subject 13 escaped. Hunting party contracted for retrieval for safety of local area. All the other logs that you see in between are simply denoting specific statistics and ranges of their experiments, but the important information is summarized in what I've shared with you here.
So, Subject 13 was the one that we guided back here?
Nettlegain. Yeah, more than likely. And as expected, it doesn't seem like everyone here is or was okay with what was going on.
So
But the
it
ones
didn't.
that weren't okay with it have already left. The rest of them know what's going on and they're continuing it.
Relocated to Dialt facility means that we have already encountered those that were there?
I believe so.
Something of note as well, one of the later logs, you did see that the people... In the log, it said that the people that stayed behind are doing so because of scientific pursuit or because they need the money to support a family. The goal that it seems was listed in that log, and presumably could be shared by most, if not all, of the remaining people, was to remove the goblins as necessary by experimenting with monster parts.
But they are also trying to remove blood as the main component of whatever they are building.
Based on the logs that you saw, and in those logs, yes.
Now, the first mention of Nettlegain is not until 17. It doesn't exactly mention how many goblins there are still here. I mean, obviously number 10 is upside tied to a tree. Hmm.
Well,
And
this is something we can try to wrap our
left
heads.
across the floor.
We do still have the other doors you mentioned.
Yeah, I was about to say
I
we can
saw
wrap
one.
we can wrap our heads around the severity of this later. We've got other things we need to try and get accomplished and get going.
Absolutely.
Before we take off from this room, though, we should I'm gonna scoop up some of the other stuff, like the pouches and that gem.
Sure. Go ahead and mark down 10 gold of silver dust. And for the time being, mark down magic rock. Whoever wants to bring along that dragon fang as well, mark it as a blight scale dragon fang.
I pulled it out, so I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the dragon fang is probably about as big as I am.
Yes.
I was about to say, I know Cobalt was the one that said he wanted it, but he probably can't carry the freaking thing.
Which is why I'm carrying it. Because even though I don't necessarily want it, I know that someone else does.
Oh, let's get a move on.
Okay.
Very well.
And to try and help it along, I'm going to start heading down and just head down the hallway to the other doors that we saw earlier that we haven't investigated yet.
Sure.
I'm doing my sniff.
Sniff, sniff, sniff. Okay. Which door are you sniffing at?
Not the silver one, but the other one.
Sure.
And while he's
Yeah.
sniffing that one, I want to
Roll
examine the
well.
other one for a mechanism.
Sure. Because it is pretty obvious how most of these doors are functioning. You see a similar mechanism as you have, and notably, this door, while metal, has that gold ring around the small indentation. And what was your investigation check, Maka?
12.
Okay. With a 12, sniffing underneath the door, you are able to get kind of a musty smell. A little bit of sweat that seems to have lingered. Bits of, just a general stagnant air inside of this room behind the door.
Smells old in there. I don't know if I smell anyone actually in there.
Kaiser will walk up to the door that Maka was sniffing first and just open it, not even cautiously, just popping it open.
Sure. Popping it open. Let me reveal the area for you. Being very picky. There we go. That'll do. Okay. Opening up the door, you see what is pretty straightforward. A small storage room. Several crates and a few small lockers line the wall. Noticeably, in the open, you see what appears to be 4 small metallic containers attached to the wall, almost like the pneumatic tubes that you see at banks and things like that, but metallic. There's piping coming out the top of them and going into the ceiling.
Oh, Maka, you want to give those crates a sniff, see if there's anything that you can...
Absolutely.
I'll go and investigate too.
To note, those metallic canisters, as I was describing them, are basically up in this top corner here, where I'm pinging.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 15
With
to investigate.
With a 15 investigation, you are able to pick out the smell of a very familiar smell to you. Something that is absolutely reminiscent of a potion of healing. And you also are picking up some kind of gentle electrical current in the air. Like, you know, that electrical fire smell kind of idea?
Like cinders.
Slightly. It's
Forced.
like... It's almost like if you
Like-
walk into a computer room and you can just feel and smell the electricity in general. You get some
ozone.
of that. A little bit of an ozone kind of burn, yeah. There seem to be a mess of crystals in the bottom of one of these crates that's giving off that smell as well. 4 crystals, precisely.
I smell potion. Healing potion, specifically.
I'm
And-
gonna just looking where he's sniffing at.
Yeah.
And there are some odd rocks here that seem to be emitting a very different kind of aura.
We'll check
And a
where he's
traditional
sniffing for
rock.
that then.
Mm-hmm. They are crystals, kind of purple in nature. Definitely radiating some kind of power to them.
Can I Arcana check them?
Sure, give me an Arcana.
Nine.
Considering the natural 20 and the technology from before, you know that these are essentially arcane storage crystals. They are used to power different arcane devices.
And how many of these are there?
4. And I should say used primarily to power these devices. There are always other ways to use them.
Kaiser will tuck them in his backpack specifically.
Okay,
How many potions are there?
just 1.
Who else is hurt?
I think we all are at this point.
My wounds aren't that serious at the moment. Do any of you have a key that we can use for this northern door right here?
Yeah, I've got it, and I'll throw Dream the gold pendant.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go ahead and start looking for the mechanism to open it.
Sure, it's right in plain sight, so...
Okay.
Um,
I'll activate it while they're looking.
yeah, Cobalt's gonna ask just out of politeness, but would it be okay if Cobalt drank this then?
Yeah, go ahead. You probably need it more than we do.
Alright, I'm gonna drink the healing potion.
Sure. Go ahead, it's a 2d4 plus 2. As you insert the coin amulet, whatever we want to call it, into the indentation, the door opens and slips up. Inside, what you see is as will follow.
6. Okay.
Okay. So the door rises up, and inside, this is number 9, you guys will see 4 light blue crystals hanging near the ceiling on the outer walls of this small hallway here. It is an immaculate floor, clean, pristine, white. The walls, white as well. The crystals that you see hanging up on the top are the only thing that really gives color outside of the metallic side of the door that you see in front of you on the opposite side. Those crystals up on the top as well are giving off a gentle glow and a hum of energy. In that door on the opposite end, you can see another circular impression in the door with a golden ring around it as well.
Keep going.
It's our only option forward at the moment.
I do not know if I trust this room. It seems too clean, too different from everything else.
I like the cleanliness of this room.
You said that the further ones are humming?
Yes, the 4 light blue crystals that you see there are humming with some kind of arcane energy. It's a very gentle hum. It's not super noticeable, but it is present, especially in the stillness that is everywhere else currently in the facility. And they do have a gentle glow to them as well.
I'm going to take one of the arcane crystals out.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'm going to just walk around and see if there's any sort of reaction to any of the orbs with it.
Sure. No effect.
Can I reach the orb?
Too high.
Or
For you, at least.
I'm unfamiliar with this. I am wholly unfamiliar with this magic, but it's very interesting.
Something I actually forgot to mention, in one of those crates as well, there was a pack of metallic tools meant for very fine detailing. Specifically, Dream, you would recognize these tools.
I would, but I wasn't in that room.
Just saying.
I probably would have taken it at the very least because it was shiny.
Okay.
1, 2.
So,
Excuse me, but the jewels, the rocks that you found in the crates, how many of those were there?
4.
And there are 4 of these odd things here. Do you think the crystals would have something to do with that?
I tested one already to no effect, but maybe it wouldn't hurt to try the other 3. And Kaiser will do the same thing with the other 3 crystals, taking them around to the orbs to see if there's any sort of reaction in any capacity, or checking the orbs to see if there's some sort of place to maybe insert the crystals.
Sure. Make an investigation check when you're examining the orbs.
That'll be a 7.
Okay. It's definitely not looking like you can see any point of insertion for these crystals. These crystals are the energy crystals that you have are about half the size of these light blue orbs that you see, but pretty plainly to see, they do appear to have some kind of a connection into the wall that disappears out of sight.
Oh, okay.
I honestly wouldn't give these too much of a hassle. There's so little magical energy here. They're probably just used for lighting.
It's possible. I do have one idea I want to test, though. And I'm going to exit that room and come back in here to where those bank-like objects you said were.
Sure, the pneumatic tube kind of situations, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to put 1 crystal in each of them.
So you open it up and see that there are actually crystals in each of them.
Oh.
The crystals are aglow and giving off a bit of energy, which you can see almost being sucked off the top like a mist into the pipes.
I'm going to just call out then, let me know if anything happens when I do this. And I'm going to take one of the crystals out. I'll say the one on the farthest left.
Okay. Taking one of the crystals out of the casings, it does give you a little bit of a shock. Because you're going in unprotected against it. You take 1 point of force damage. The rest of you notice that one of the crystals in the room stops glowing.
you turn the light off.
Okay, so it's batteries essentially then. Good to know. I'll put that 5th crystal that I just pulled out back in with the other 4 that I have and just come back into this room.
Mm-hmm.
All right, opening the door now.
And pretty much just batteries for the lights, it seems.
Okay. So you go ahead and you insert the medallion into the indentation there. Maka, is it safe to assume you are in the room with everybody?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and scoot yourself up. As you insert the medallion, you hear a click. The door behind you slams down onto the ground. Suddenly, the room alights. The 3 crystals, still powered, glow more vibrantly. Vroom, vroom. They get bigger in its glow. You feel a gentle tingle come over all of your bodies, hair standing on its end, before a quick flash happens, causing you to have to all close your eyes. When the flash subsides, all of you are completely spotless. Clean. The door in front of you opens up.
I want to take this room with us.
It must have been some kind of
My smell.
Decontamination room is what my guess is.
My smell is gone.
what's decontamination? I was just gonna say that it's
Magic soap room.
well, prestidigitation.
Ah. You don't
But
understand. I took months, years to earn that smell. That's just me.
Wait, that your smell is earned?
Yes, rolling in the grass, rolling in things. That's how we gain our smells. That's
The notable stench of canine is not present anymore.
Well, friend, it looks like you're just going to have to re-earn your smell then.
No.
This room saves hours of a day of bathing. This is great.
If this is what bathing is, then I don't want it.
Any
Oh,
of
you
you,
do that. That's great.
who's proficient in Arcana?
I am.
Okay.
Not me.
I am as well.
Dream, because you said it already, you were able to piece together that these crystals were the source of what just happened, and sure enough, these crystals are a way to cast prestidigitation.
I am so smart. I am so smart.
You also are able to glean that they're fastened to the wall, as, we saw there, but they're fastened, which means they could be removed.
I was actually about to ask, cause Cobalt was mentioning it earlier, if Kaiser was going to check one to see if he could maybe take it off.
Yeah, it's absolutely capable of being removed.
Here, maybe you could use these tools, and I'll hand you the
I'm out.
the fine tools that he found in the pouch.
Yep, it's a set of Jewel Crafter's tools.
I am going to roll in so much mess when I get out of here.
Oh, where did you get those?
Found them in a box. They were shiny.
So they are. Very well kept.
Maka, as you step into this room, the things that you see, it is a very clean room in here. Floor is spotless in general. You see a larger version of the same kind of black device that was in the other room before. Several bookcases up at the top of the room, filled with papers, a couple desks across the room with papers strewn about, and notably, another metallic door up in the top corner, farthest from you.
That thing, that hexagonal thing.
Mm-hmm.
In this, well, this is actually.
You are correct. Hexagonal.
That looks like the thing that we saw on the desk in the other room, isn't it?
Give me a moment. While they're fussing with that, I'll enter the other room.
Mm-hmm.
It's bigger.
Yeah, that definitely looks like it.
Us guys are managed to get this orb off yet?
Oh, yes. You're able to pry that one free. Not an
Is
issue.
it just the orb itself, or does any of the pipe come with it, or?
There is the little bit of a power draw station, I guess you can call it, that is part of the attaching to the piping that you see now behind it. So it's the crystal and a tiny bit more of an apparatus to power it in some kind of capacity. When you remove it, by the way, that one in the top corner was powered. When you remove it, the power fades from it, and it appears inert.
Well, Kazra will walk up with that thing in hand, and I'll go and reach in and grab the powered crystal from earlier that was powering it, and I'm going to hand both of those to Cobalt here, since you said you wanted some of this.
Yes. How do you make it work, though?
Insert the crystal into the chamber that's on it.
Okay.
That's my best guess, anyway.
He's gonna just put it all in his pouch for now, and
Sure.
we'll figure that out later.
Okay.
Oh, there's a lot going on in here. Well, since Geyser was the one that messed with the one in the other room and figured out how it worked, I'm going to approach the big one and see what's going on with this big fella.
Sure. In similar fashion, because of the natural 20 from before of understanding these kinds of devices, this one is revealing the same information that you had in the other room. This time, the logs that read about the experiments and everything are not saying that it's located on an alternative device, which means that it's probably been uploaded and recorded here on this device specifically.
Kaiser will pull that up then and see if there's any additional information on it then.
Sure. No additional information.
Alright. And just swiping through it, there's no other information on here than that would be of interest or value.
No, sir.
Alright, well. This doesn't have anything important for us, so...
Yeah, I rewarded you with a natural 20 early.
Yeah.
Investigating this bookshelf and something on top of it?
Yeah. It just appears to be a simple bookshelf. You can't really see the top of it.
Well, as I was entering the room.
Yeah. Like from a distance, you could see that it was just basically a piece of cloth on top. Nothing really significant. Pretty flat. It's just a bookshelf, and I wanted to have one that looked different, so it wasn't all samey. But inside, several books that seem very scientific, talking about a lot of different prospects. There's some magic circles in one of them. Mention of blood.
Cobalt not really understanding all this extra science and experiments is just gonna kind of like glance over stuff and just, it's amazing. Paper has 6 sides, but we only ever use 2 of them.
What are the
Very
rest of you guys
confused.
doing?
I'll
Kaiser
go ahead and
walked over to this middle table and gonna look rough through the papers again.
Sure. I can say with full confidence, you'll be able to spend 5-8 minutes looking through these papers. Most of them are completely filled with notes about the experiments, ideas for what they can do to change some of these things, scratching some of those ideas out. Other documents that you've seen talking about similar features that we've already discussed, and you've gotten information in other parts of this facility. For the most part, this room is rehashing and reinforcing the information that you've gotten elsewhere.
I don't like this place and how it has no smells.
Mako, what's
There's
your
nothing.
passive perception?
My passive perception
Mm-hmm.
is 14.
Okay. With a 14, considering the rest of the room is odorless and pristine, you are picking up the gentle smell of sweat and blood from
I'm gonna start
behind
following
the door.
that from behind this door here.
Yes.
I smell sweat and blood behind this door. Perhaps that lady came to hide back here?
We
It's
should open it.
possible. Kaiser will look for the mechanism.
This door does not have a mechanism. And instead, there is a button on the left side.
I want to push the button.
I was about to say, what color is the button?
Button's red.
And then push the red button. Cobalt, you want to push the button?
He like runs up and high fives the button.
I'm going to look through the papers on my desk.
Sure. Papers, as I mentioned before, it is a lot of rehashing. One thing that does stand out to you on that desk specifically, there appears to be a letter that has not yet been sent, and the summary of the letter is what you can gather: a father writing to his daughter saying that he's sorry for needing to be away from home, but his work is almost done and he'll be home soon. Slapping that button with a high five, the door in front of you lifts itself up, revealing to you a room that chills you to the bone. In this room, steel grating makes up the entirety of the floor, and a very familiar-looking ritual circle sits in the center. Several cages line the walls in here, and many of these cages are holding goblins. These goblins appear malnourished. They appear beaten, almost anemic. Chains dangle, though, above the center of the room, with manacles attached at their ends, directly over the center of that kind of a familiar ritual circle. Notably, over on the far right of the room, you see the unmoving body of a goblin lying there on the floor. Several cuts across its body. And the rest of its body, almost like a mosquito, has drained it dry.
The moment that the door flies open and the horror of the scene sinks in, Kaiser sort of clutches his holy symbol and just, Cometa, give me strength. And he'll step in.
I will accompany.
Cobalt rushes in.
As you all enter the room, the goblins on the far wall look up and are immediately overcome with an initial sense of fear. Seeing all of you, though, that fear turns to confusion, back into fear.
The first thing I want to do, and the first thing I want to ask is this symbol in the middle of the floor engraved or painted?
Painted.
Kaiser's going to walk over to it, and I'm going to take my mace and I'm going to scrape across it to destroy some of the paint and break the circle.
Sure. Breaking the circle, it does kind of lose the glow that it had. Your mace now has bits of blood on it.
Gross. They drew this out of blood.
But doesn't that make sense? Didn't you say earlier that blood was the thing they were trying to replace for this ritual?
It is the most efficient catalyst.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Cobalt's gonna step up to the goblins. We're here to get you guys out of here.
They look up and to see all of you, and they seem to be so racked with fatigue and hunger that they can't really speak too much, but you can see a sense of relief and a little bit of relax come over them.
As a matter of fact, to show that we mean no harm, Kaiser's going to take out a couple pieces of the rations that he got from the mess hall earlier, and he's going to break it off and hand it specifically right now to this goblin in the cage he's in front of, just holding it out slowly.
Sure. Hesitantly, and with whatever energy it can muster, reaches out, takes the food, and slowly begins to eat whatever he can.
I'm gonna try to bust this cage open.
Sure. Make an attack roll for me. Unarmed strike.
Ten.
Okay. 10 is the AC to just hit a stationary object like this. And it's not reinforced metal or anything, so it's not super high. We will say that you are able to do the damage to break the locking mechanism here and open up this cage.
I'm gonna have to do this to each one.
Kaiser will give a hand, and he's going to try by pulling the door off the cage of the goblin that he just fed.
Sure.
I don't suppose there's a release button mechanism.
Make an investigation check. Oh, you're still standing outside of the room, yeah?
I'll take a quick step in.
Okay. Then we'll make an investigation.
An 8.
With an 8, the scene is quite distracting. It's a little hard to look away.
There has to be an easier way to get open those cages. Maybe there's a key that we overlooked? Or a button.
I'm just gonna keep punching cages.
I'm
Kaiser will take a
gonna
quick
stay
look
up
around the room when
here.
Dream mentions a possible button.
Sure. The DC will be a little bit higher. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Nope, I don't see shit. That's a 3.
Yeah, it's a little more dimly lit in here, and there seems to be a little more pressing matter than finding a button, you know?
Yep, well, we're going back to ripping off this door then.
Okay.
I'm just
will
gonna
s-
stay outside the room and keep watch.
Yep. We will say, for the sake of brevity, you are able to go ahead and open up all of these cages, getting the 6 goblins in here out. They are exceptionally weak. They're going to need some time to rest, to recover, before they're able to really travel on their own. So we will go ahead and, for tonight, wrap up the session. We'll see what you guys would like to do after this.
Yay.
Okay.
So yeah. Congratulations, guys. The first dungeon you've gone through by my little design. I hope you enjoyed. I thought it was a fun little romp into a dungeony situation.
And us letting that spellcaster get away is totally not going to come back to bite us in the ass, I'm sure.
No, not at all.
No, not at all. No.
Letting.
Let her get away.
Yeah, letting, yeah, in parentheses. In quotations, yeah. Oh, goodness. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming out and spending time with us while we played our silly little game. I hope you enjoyed. I know I certainly had a great time. I hope you guys had a good time.
Of course.
It was definitely an interesting start with flabbergasting the people in the kitchen because sudden dire wolf eating your food.
Yes, that was enjoyable. So,
Learning that a firebolt and a toilet do not mix.
yep.
Puts a whole new meaning, literal meaning to explosive diarrhea. As I said earlier.
So we will be back in 2 weeks to continue this story. Our next live session is going to be on the 29th of April. Same time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Make sure, if you guys are enjoying the story, you go ahead and you pop out. Join us for that in 2 weeks. And if you missed something and you want to catch up, I upload the VOD every Saturday, best I can. Sometimes it's a little bit late and hits Sunday, but every other Saturday, when we're not playing, I upload to the YouTube channel. So make sure you go ahead and check that out there and get yourself caught up. But that does it for us for tonight. I hope you guys all enjoyed. We will see you all in 2 weeks as we continue our journey. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a
Till
good night.
next time, peeps.
Take care.
Later.